Hi, my name is Nyla, and I am 7 years old. I like my astronomy class, and I am loving it. And I've been learning my planets like the moon and Earth and the like Venus, Mercury, and I forget what other planets. Maybe that's all, but the astronomy class is awesome. I've been learning about like Egypt and that stuff, and king and queens, and and pyramids, and and Kemet, and look at this pose. All of it. And I love it. Bless love. Bye.
And we definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Give thanks for your presence with us. You're definitely in the tiger's nest. I'm just here holding a meditation. I said I would invite you in. Give thanks for the young voice of the young princess Nyla. Definitely speaking from her heart, and I must say, didn't have to be coerced whatsoever to express her true feelings. So, Honorable Princess Nyla, give thanks very much for your love, and I pray that all is well with you and the family, and there are more homeschool classes coming your way, Honorable Sister, and much more surprises in store for you. So, family, you heard it for yourself, definitely. I'm sure all of you by now know about international homeschool classes, definitely. Something I encourage you almost every single time to at least contact us and, take in at least one of our sneak previews, one of the classes. We will send you one of the classes so you could see for yourself without any contradiction or wondering what it is you're going to get when you purchase or enroll your young ones into the homeschool program. No, we definitely would show you even beforehand so you get an idea, and all you have to do is ask Honorable Priest Isaac, can I get a preview of the class that you are speaking about so you could see for yourself? And if you agree, you would enroll, and if you don't, well, you roll on. That's really the whole motto here. But for sure, family, I'm telling you, just as you heard the young princess say, I am telling you, the young ones will love it. As we say here, your children will adore it, because what they're getting is an appreciation for the Afrocentricity. We're carrying them to the heavens and showing them the different stars and the makeup of the stars and the planets. They're going on the different moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Family, you just got to see it for yourself. In fact, we have a few videos on the YouTube where we already show you and give you an idea of exactly, let's just put it this way, the level of fun that we have on the International Homeschool Program. Myself, the young prince and princess with me, and of course, it's just a joy. And of course, we do that interactive class as well, where we all sit down in the same room and we interact with the young ones. Family, I'm telling you, this is going to be a blast for you. If you're not a part of it, you should definitely be a part of it. Now, before I go too further now, I want you to listen to this. This is very important, family. Listen to this good. All right. Those who were with us for the Patrons Day, you would have heard Brother Akeem Pierre say that he is going to sponsor 5 international homeschool classes. You heard him say so. So I know there's some of you who are listening who for sure will love your children to be a part of the international homeschool classes. I am positive as it relates to that. Now listen to me good. As he's willing to sponsor 5, and I myself, we're going to add 2 more to his 5. So we have 7 international homeschool classes that we are going to give out. Now listen to me. This is all you have to do, and this is for the parents. This is for the parents, because you got to show some level of appreciation here, and I'm going to give you some work to do. All I want you to do is email. And you're going to give me work to do now, because I'm going to have to read what you email. You're going to email me between 50 and 100 words. Yes, parents, it could be 50 words. 50 words is just 10 words 5 times. Don't make it sound that hard. So it's between 50 and 100 words. I want you to explain to me why you would like your child to be a part of the International Homeschool Program. That's all. Why you would like your child to be a part of the International Homeschool Program. So as the parents, as the guardian who want your child or children, and remember, even if you take one program and you have 10 children, all of them will benefit from the one program. So it's not as if you have to get a program for each of them. All of them will benefit from the one program. So you have a child, you want to, maybe it's months now you wanted to be a part of this homeschool program. You know, I wanted to do this for months, but I just didn't get the chance, and the finance and this and that. I don't know what it is. As you know, in my book, I think it's only $30 a month. We're talking about your child. I think it's only $30 a month, and I would say it's only $200 for the full year. It's definitely worth much more than that. But whatever the case is that you have not taken up the International Homeschool Program as yet, all I need you to do is to email me. Of course, present yourself properly, because I'm going to read it. So if I get 70 of them, I can only pick 7. So obviously it will be the 7 that inspired me the most that I'm going to take. And then what we're going to do, we will give you the International Homeschool Program. Just like anyone who pays for the program, you're going to receive it every day in your email. You get it in your inbox in the morning. Your child sits down around the table or wherever, and they watch their homeschool program. They have a wonderful time with myself and the prince and the princess and all the different videos and activities that we have. You will full enjoy that. And hey, you're getting it for free. If there's any, discrepancy why you cannot afford it or pay for it, that's not our problem. We're not even asking you about that. We just want you to explain why you think the young one in your family, your child, it could be a young brother or young sister, why you think that they should be a part of the International Homeschool Program. And if any child that is listening, because a lot of children listen to us, even outside of their parents, I'm telling you, children, of course, everybody have their device. Any one of you children, listen to me, any one of you children who want the International Homeschool Program, and you contact me, I am telling you now, you will be in a much, 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 much better position to get the homeschool program than a parent that contacts me for their children. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying. So the point is, you want the International Homeschool Program, and for whatever reason, you cannot pay the $30 a month or the $200, which will last you for the whole year, email me, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com. We have 7 of them to give away. 7 packages of the homeschool classes to give away. So obviously, don't wait too long to do it. It's not no deadline. It's when we get the 7 and we say we have the 7, we will give them out. So if I was you, I would do that now. Don't wait till the video done and let me try it tomorrow. When I wake up, you're procrastinating. Email us now and explain why you think the International Homeschool Program should be for your young one. Or if you are the young one, just email us and let us know why you want it. And again, if you're a young child, trust me, you're in a better position to get that program because you're the child and you reach out to me. You reach out to me. I mean, come on, I ain't gonna let no young ones down. All right, here we go, family. Now, before we go into the subject this evening here, just remind you that the Tiger's Nest is ready for you every evening on radio and every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp. It's the Tiger's Nest, but here it is. Remember, we used to have the subscription for the Shock of the Hour radio program. Well, the subscription is back again, family. For those of you who may not be able to listen to the Tiger's Nest every night, and even if you listen to it every night, to me, doesn't make a difference. You should still have the Tiger's Nest in your library, in your archives. You know, the same way we do the homeschool program, you subscribe to the Tiger's Nest radio program, you get it in your inbox every day. So when the program is done in the evening and it's recorded, we send it to your email, you get it in your inbox. As simple as that. You no questions asked, you just get it every single day. You can pile up for a month and then you listen it all in a day. It's up to you, but it will be yours. Because remember, when we do the Tiger's Nest, it's not usually, you know, replayed again on radio. I know. So definitely, if you have it, it's like a collector's item that you have. So you can subscribe for the shock of the hour today. It's only $20 a month. A month, $20, 20. Remember, it's every day you're getting the Tiger's Nest. Every night we do the program, and every day you're getting it, and an hour plus program, not of music and entertainment and talk and laugh and advertising. You know, it is a scholarly, well put together program. Every day we set it up as if you're coming to class, so you know for sure you're leaving with information and yes, inspiration, and that is the Tiger's Nest. Now, for sure, listen to me. Although it's $20 a month, you can get a 6 months package. So the 6 months package will be 20 times 6. That's 120, isn't it? No, 120 or 140, 120, I think. But whatever the case is, the 6 months package is $100. $100 flat. In fact, you can get a year's package. A year's package. So if the 6 months package is 100, that means the year is 200. No, the year's package is $150. Remember, there are 52 weeks in a year. So you get in 52 weeks worth of a radio program that's on every night from Monday to Thursday for a whole year. So you don't have to think about that again until next year, this time, like a whole birthday away of the Tiger's Nest radio program. So become a subscriber, family. Remember, we are beginning this fresh, so you should start this strong. This strong, don't wait until somewhere down the line. You should start this strong. Make sure you subscribe this strong, and you'll definitely get this strong's worth of the Tiger's Nest until, you know, whatever subscription that you take. All right. Now, what I'm going to do right now, I'm actually going to, as they say, play for you, but it's not really playing. I'm going to present to you a program I did specifically, the Shock of the Hour radio program. And this one was specifically dealing with the artifacts, the mummies that they were moving in Egypt like a few months ago. And anyway, I'm just going to go straight into it and make you listen to this. And this is some interesting stuff.
Just in Egypt came across something unexpected.
Of the freedom of speech.
Going to the meat of the matter, let us listen to this first.
While piecing together the remains of an ancient civilization, archaeologists in Egypt came across something unexpected.
Let's listen, family.
Clay pottery, wine vessels, and colorful jewelry from a city that has not been seen in 3,400 years.
We believe that this golden lost city is the most important discovery after the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. I call it golden because it was found in the golden age of Egypt, 1391 BC. I called it lost city because it was lost in Egypt. We believe that this golden lost city is the most important discovery after the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. I call it golden because it was found in the golden age of Egypt, 1391 BC. I called it lost city because it was lost. No one really believed that the city could exist here.
And that's Zahi, what's his name? Zahi Hawass. If I'm not, he's an Egyptologist, yes, but he's the former head of the Egyptian Egyptologist department. I think he either came out of retirement for this one. This is recently, my people. This is Al Jazeera news that we're taking this specific clip from. And the announcement of the discovery, really, not necessarily the so-called discovery, but the announcement, because they've been excavating it for a moment, was just a few days ago. And just to give you a proper timeline, I don't know, you may be listening to a recording of this sometime in the future, but this is the 13th day of April, 2021. That's when it was recorded. Tuesday. And just a few days ago, the weekend that has passed, this report came out.
Heavy stuff.
This discovery. In fact, what we are going into this evening, we're going to be talking about the Golden Parade. I'm sure some of you would have seen it online in Egypt, in Kemet. Well, they really turned the thing into Egypt, I'm telling you, where they had 22 of the ancient Egyptian kings and queens moving from one museum in Cairo to another museum specifically in another part of Egypt. And that was a big, spectacular event just a few nights ago, 2 or 3 nights ago. You know, so we are really keeping up to date with that, but we're going to be getting into that. That's really the meat of the program. But let's continue to hear what Mr. Hawass is saying here.
Years.
We believe that this golden lost city is the most...
So this is a new city now that has been discovered, and he's saying that this is the greatest discovery since the discovery of Tutankhamun. Every discovery is the greatest discovery since Tutankhamun. You know them kind of way there. Yeah, it's like, you know, every basketball player is the best basketball player since Michael Jordan. All of them, and Kobe Bryant was the best thing since Michael Jordan. LeBron James is the best since Michael Jordan. Stephen Curry is the best since Michael Jordan. So I guess all these discoveries, they're always the greatest, you know, since the discovery of Tutankhamun. Yeah, man, this is the best rap artist since Rakim. This is the best. I mean, that's how it is. There's always a standard bearer, and everyone is always the best compared to the standard bearer. So it's obvious that Tutankhamun is the standard bearer. You're going to hear them find something else. Bet you find something else sometime down the line, and it's the greatest discovery since Tutankhamun. You want to bet? But we don't bet really.
100 years.
We believe that this golden lost city is the most important discovery after the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. I call it golden because it was found in the golden age of Egypt, 1391 BC. I called it lost city because it was lost. No one really believed that the city could exist here.
It's the largest ancient city ever found in Egypt, according to the team.
Hear that. Very important point.
It's the largest ancient city ever found in Egypt, according to the team that discovered it. Several neighborhoods and homes with walls nearly 3 meters high, a bakery, kitchen, and areas for making sandals and sewing clothing, and people who may have worn them. It's believed this is where worship of the sun god Aton began.
So they're saying they believe this is where the worship of the sun god Aton began, and you know who that is credited to. It's obviously Akhenaten himself. But interesting, you know, they found artifacts highlighting the goddess Mut and also Heteru. And so these different artifacts, Heteru is Hathor, these different artifacts which ones do not really align with the age of Akhenaten or the Amarna period, you know, or the Atan. But let's continue to listen to this anyway.
The discovery of this city has given us insight into the daily lives of ancient Egyptians. We've always believed that ancient Egyptian culture was one of death and resurrection, but now we know these details about the lives of the ancient Egyptian.
On the west bank of the Nile River, it's a once-in-a-century finding, dating back to the rule of King Tutankhamun's grandfather. And Egyptologists say they're just getting started. Andrew Chappell, Al Jazeera.
And Tutankhamun's grandfather would have been Amenhotep III. Well, at least this is what Egyptologists believe, because there was once upon a time when he wasn't Tutankhamun's grandfather. But since Akhenaten has now become Tutankhamun's father, because there was a time when he wasn't his father, at least we were not sure, but somehow that's a fact today. So, and since Amenhotep III is the father of Akhenaten, who's Amenhotep IV, then Tutankhamun must be his grandson too. If you follow, I hope you didn't miss that. If you did, you could just listen it again. All right, so as I said, we want to go into the meat of the matter. There's an article I wanted to read, but I ain't gonna read the article. Let us listen to this now. All right.
Egypt. Hail to the kings majestic, powerful, and captivating ancient civilization. The land of the pharaohs, the mother of the world. Spectators await the much anticipated event on April 3rd, 2021, as the gates of the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir will open to a remarkable golden pharaonic parade.
So that was April 3rd now. This specific parade was April 3rd, 2021. This little documentary came out the eve prior to that, the eve of that, which is the 2nd of April, which is actually, that was the resurrection moment. So April 3rd now, as we would know, is the Earth Day celebrated in certain realms of Empress Menen. And this is a very interesting situation here, because this is this was a magnificent event in Egypt, where they moved 22 magnificent kings and queens, our Kemetic, giving them for king and queen, or Nesut,
Nesut and Hemet Nesut.
The Nesut and who?
The Hemet Nesut.
And the Hemet Nesut, that's queen, right?
Yeah.
Right. So they had several Nesut and Hemet Nesut. And we could be bete to or Nesut bete. Yes. And these are Egyptian pharaohs then. Egyptian pharaohs. We just try not to use the word pharaohs. Where did the word pharaoh come from again? What's the pata?
Pharaoh is actually Greek.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Okay, right. Yeah, exactly. Give thanks. The pharaoh is the Greek name, but you were teaching me the other evening that it comes from a specific word. Heptata or something. All right, don't worry. It's all right. You will get your own vibes. I'm the student here as it relates to that. So I'm just saying, that this is a magnificent event. I find that it's interesting that it's happening on the Earth Day of Empress Menen. Of course, that will just go on the radar for many of us, but that's deep. And if you saw the full event, well, you wouldn't see the full event unless they maybe have, well, I'm sure it was being streamed live, but there's a lengthy version of it, at least an hour, where you see them driving through the city with the mummies in some decorated carriages, like with the sun disk and the wings, and everything looks Egyptian really, and lights and fireworks and all sorts of spectacular things. Ain't too much social distancing taking place there at all. Although the ministers now, you see the Prime Minister of Egypt and all the ministers, they are spaced in their seat and all of them have on masks. If you watched the parade, you would notice that everyone else is doing what they do, but the ministers, they all a mask and they're spaced, but the rest of the parade, just like any old thing taking place. I tend to believe it would have been bigger though, to be just, to give it its justice. I think it would have been bigger if the COVID-19 thing wasn't going on. And I must say it was very beautiful. I kind of liked to see it. I really did. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. I liked to see it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed, or maybe and it didn't end no joy for sure. But I didn't full joy, because there's a underlying sinister theme about all of this that is not pretty at all. And even in this little documentary we're bringing out here, even the narrator with his sly, silly self. Sorry. I didn't mean to. Well, I meant it, but well, I didn't mean. I loved it because that's what it is. He's trying to attribute our Kemetic anciency to the people that live in Egypt today, the Arabs. In fact, in all of this pomp and splendor, spectacular expression of Egypt and moving pharaohs and this and that, Africa has nothing to do with this. From their point of view, this ain't got nothing to do with me and you. This has nothing to do with the Negroes. You better believe it. And you could hear it even in the undertones of this little thing we're going to bring forward here, although it's all right. And if you observe that parade, if you go online and watch the parade, you could see that this has nothing to do with the Black people of the world. In fact, they go as far as to credit this as being the culture of the people that were there, that are there right now. That's how they push it. For example, we here in the Western world, in the Caribbean islands, and Central America and South America and these places, the history of the, let's say, the Indians, then, as they call it, the Arabs, the Caribs, the Arawaks, the Tainos, the Siboneyes, the Mayans, the Incas, the Aztecs, and all of that. Although we know, the Olmec had a part to play, but let's just deal with it how we have been taught it. The history of these people here, the Mayan history, the Inca history, who else? The Aztecs history. That's their history. Even if we may be occupying their space, the people that were here, the Caribs and the Arawaks that were here, even though we may be occupying their space, we can't just take over their history like if it's ours. We can't find pottery that was made by the Arawaks. We found pottery made by the Arawaks, and then we're going to go act as if it's our pottery and say, well, this is our pottery, our ancestors made it. No, give credit to the people that were there before you. But that's not what they're doing. They're giving credit to themselves for keeping the Egyptian culture alive up to today. You see, this is why we push a certain little agenda. Ones may not understand what we are doing, but I'm telling you, if it is a shotgun you have, just use the shotgun to the best of your ability until you have a whole army. And I'm telling you, we don't have no army, it's a shotgun we have. That is why we do essay competitions. Even if it's 30 people enter and only 3 people can get a gift, it's all right. It's a shotgun, but it's working. What that does, it helps to motivate the mind of the child. Those who may have written the essay, some of them ain't gonna go back and look at no African nothing, but some of them may have received the spark just because of that. The programs that we do, the homeschool, international homeschool classes that we put out, all of that is to work on the psychology of the mind of the child. So when they grow older and they run up into these kind of things, they can differentiate right from wrong. But if you don't get the kind of training that we are encouraging, when you come across this sort of thing, you're going to look at it and say, wow, these Egyptians are doing such a wonderful job preserving their history. That's what a Negro would say. That's why education is the first step in reparation. Without true education, your psychology is gone. Anyway, let's listen to this. Pardon me, but anyway.
The gates of the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir will open to a remarkable golden pharaonic parade.
So let me just get this quickly. So that's the name of the place, Tahrir. That is where the new museum is. They're opening this new museum. So they're taking these Kemetic kings and queens from ancient Cairo, and there's going to be this, not going to be, there has already been, that was Saturday evening, would have been this great parade going into the new museum. All right.
Beginning in the streets of Cairo with a 21-gun salute in honor of the ancient Egyptian rulers. A once-in-a-lifetime global event when 22 royal celebrities will be gathered in one place and in one procession. The 22 royal mummies will gracefully roam the streets of Cairo, bidding farewell to the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir on 22 cars in a traditional Egyptian style with horses and war chariots. Specially designed for the occasion, each vehicle labeled with the name of its occupant in Arabic, English, and of course hieroglyphic. The royal procession, which will be about 40 minutes long, will extend from Tahrir Square to the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization in the historic city of Fustat. The second royal cache was found in one of the side rooms in the tomb of Amenhotep II in 1898. The 22 royal mummies, 18 kings and 4 queens, date back to the 17th to the 20th dynasties, and are by far the oldest ever witnessed royalties in history.
Roll call coming.
The royal cache was discovered in 1881. The royal mummies being transferred are King Ramses II, King Ramses III, Ramses IV, Ramses V, Ramses VI, Ramses IX, Thutmose I, Thutmose II, Thutmose III, Thutmose IV, Signen Ra, Hatshepsut, Amenhotep I, Amenhotep II, Amenhotep III, Ahmose Nefertari, Merit Amun, Sittah, Merin Ptah, Queen T, Seti I, and Seti II. They are accompanied by 17 royal coffins. Among the famous mummies are King Thutmose I, who reigned during the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom. Having ascended to the throne at the age of 40, following the death of Amenhotep I, who left no heir. He was among the many mummies discovered in Deir el-Bahari cache in 1881. An accomplished military leader, Thutmose I expanded Egypt's grip of the south through successful campaigns of conquest, but he knew how to manage things without violence as well. He opened up new routes for trade and diplomacy with close nations. Thutmose also fathered Queen Hatshepsut, the second ever female pharaoh. King Thutmose II, the son of Thutmose I and his direct successor, came to the throne by marrying his half-sister Hatshepsut. Having lived only to age 30, his reign was far shorter than that of his father's, and he was soon succeeded by his son, Thutmose III. His mummy was also discovered in the Deir el-Bahari cache. Queen Hatshepsut was the 6th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, one of the few and by far the most successful women to rule Egypt as pharaoh. Her long rule had been a period that flourished with peace and prosperity, filled with magnificent art and many ambitious building projects. Those royal mummies are going to parade the streets of Cairo, declaring that there was a day when their king and queenship reigned the land of Egypt, raising the name of Egypt higher than any other known country in that time. Every Egyptian, whether living in the States, Canada, Australia, Egypt, or in any other corner of the world ought to be proud of their rich heritage.
Now you hear that? I want to hear what the fella here says. And he's talking about, you know, the agency of Egypt and everything. And he's stressing here that every Egyptian, whether you're living in Australia, Canada, or any place in the world, you should be proud of your heritage. Now, I don't know why they teach Egyptian children in the country they call Egypt today. I don't know if they teach them that they are immigrants or somewhat interlopers, really, or they invaded this area of the world. I don't know if they teach them that. I really don't. I know in the United States, to some degree, they teach the children that the pilgrims came here and a little thing about slavery, and at least you have some idea that it didn't all start here. So I don't know exactly what they teach in the Egyptian schools. You know, but the impression I'm getting here is that these people somehow feel that they built all of this stuff that was around them. This is because he's saying now that if you are an Egyptian, he's not talking about me and you. We're the real Egyptians. And I'm using the term Egyptian for conversation's sake, you know what I mean? We're the real Egyptians. So, but when he's saying Egyptians, he ain't talking about us. He's talking about the real Egyptians. You can follow that level of conversation. He's talking about the real gypsies. The Egyptians, yeah, the gypsies, that's what it is. You know, the people, the Arabians that live in Kemet today, some of them now, and because they've been there a while, they have a good history there, is not, but not a history that goes as far back as this stuff that they're playing around with. Not even close. They can't even, I mean, that's their history, just a couple of 100 years in the land of Kemet. Just a couple of 100 years. Several generations. Let's say several generations. That's it. That's nothing. The history that they have in their hand here, going back 4,000 years, 5,000 years, claiming pyramid, they gone 10,000 years. They were not even a people at that time. Did they come out of the Hindu Kush Mountains yet? Come on, man. And he talking about Egyptians in Canada and Australia must be proud of their heritage. Which heritage? In the Hindu Kush Mountains? No, I mean, this is what I'm saying. But this, now you may be saying I'm hated. No, come on, leave the people, let them enjoy what, and those, yeah. No, you don't understand. See, this is what I'm saying. That is why we push education for children. That's why it's so important to me. Because I know, trust me, I know, I have children here. I know when you grab these young ones early, catch them early, don't let them get away. Don't wait till they're 3 and 4 to try to show them anything. Some people wait till they're teenagers to try to show them something. That's lunacy. Before they come out of the womb, start to talk to them. Tell them who's the enemy. Be harsh to. Let them know who's the enemy. Don't be afraid. Let them know, hey, the hyena is your enemy. When they get a little older, maybe if you want to lighten it up and say, well, you know, and whatever your philosophy is, that's up to you. But if you really want them to be on guard, you better teach them early on the dot from the time they begin what the truth is, or else things like this is just going to fly over their head. This is what you talk about, fly overhead. All the Egyptians in Canada and should be proud of their heritage. Imagine that. A heritage that someone else built. A people that has been displaced from this area here. And they're still there, but obviously not in the majority.
In the land of Egypt,
Yes.
raising the name of Egypt higher than any other known country in that time.
Now you see, which is true.
To parade the streets of Cairo,
Which is true.
declaring that there was a day when their king and queenship reigned the land of Egypt.
I agree.
Raising the name of Egypt higher than any other known country in that time.
At that time.
Every Egyptian, whether living in the States, Canada, Australia, Egypt, or in any other corner of the world, ought to be proud of their rich heritage.
That ain't got nothing to do there. If the Egyptians he talking, if it's me he talking, okay, thank you, brother. But somehow I don't think he talking about me. And some of the statues that they're highlighting when you watch the parade, like the
I'm in black.
yeah,
The hidden one. He's black.
black. You need to watch the parade, people. All the talking, everything they're showing you, black. You know, so these Egyptians, I mean, again, hey, listen, maybe I'm taking it too far, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he is talking about the Africans in the diaspora, but somehow I don't believe so.
There isn't any other civilization that have preserved such grand masterpieces of mummified royalties, and thousands of years later are still maintained and well kept.
Now, of course, he's talking, that's the truth. Now you see how truth and lie can mix up? He is the truth, he's saying, but he's still lying. He's lying, he's the truth, but he's lying. When you watch National Geographic, Discovery, what's the other one? The History Channel, and they're showing you all these Egyptian documentaries. The only time you might see a documentary highlighting the Egyptian kings being black is when they're highlighting the 25th dynastic period, which is said to be the dynastic period from in the south, from Nubia. That's the only time you might get a little, man, everything was black. The gods of Kemet were dark, charcoal black. And these statues clearly show you that we are dealing with an African people. But because we are so brain scrubbed, and bleached in the brain, these sort of comments just go over our head. And it's sad to see that, because the vast majority of us are hypnotized.
Fitting to ride the chariots for their final resting destination. Egypt comes from the Greek Aegyptos, the Greek pronunciation of the ancient Egyptian name Ha-Ka-Ptah, the name Memphis was known by in 3100 BC, at the time when it was the first capital of ancient Egypt and the pillar of civilization in the known world. The word Coptic came from the Greek term Aegyptos, indicating Christian from Egypt.
And of course now, as I said, this is something I would consider quite moving as well. You know, this is a mystic time going through the earth. That was a very, very interesting movement there, because the third, again, not only Empress Menen, from one museum to the other, but that was the double Sabbath. And that was the same time when we were celebrating the emperor becoming emperor from the 2nd of April, which is the time when Emperor Zaditu passed and Haile Selassie became emperor, and Empress Menen became empress. Empress Menen became empress for her earth. They really very interesting. That's some good things that we need to look at. You know? So these people know how to correspond with the cosmics. I know that for sure. So moving these mummies here, these statues, not statues, pardon me, these kings and queens. And listen, that's not no joke thing, you know. That's nothing to play with. We know, we've done programs of the so-called curse and the so-called curse of the mummies. And it's some serious vibration that's happening when you play with these things. And this is not Scooby-Doo. But the reality is to pick up these 22 people really remains and just be moving them from one spot to the other spot. I mean, there's some energy, something taking place in the cosmos. You hear the names that were called Ramesses II, Ramesses III, Ramesses IV, the fifth, the ninth, Tutmos 1, 2, 3, and Hatshepsut. She's in there, as well as all the Amenhoteps except Amenhotep, or some say Amenophis, the fourth. You have Amenhotep 1, 2, 3. But Amenhotep the fourth, which is Akhenaten, was not there. Amos Nefertari, pardon me, was there as well. Can you imagine that? So that was Seti the first, was there Seti the second. So these are some of the biggest names of dynastic periods. I'm talking 18th and 19th and some other dynastic period surrounding that involved in this movement. So there's a certain level of energy there. From you understand Kemetic history and culture and heritage, there's a certain melody, a certain level of energy that we are feeling there on that movement there, which was Saturday evening. And again, that's even coinciding with the announcement, not the discovery, the announcement of the discovery of this great city that they found, the largest city that they found, that Mr. Hawass is saying is the greatest discovery since the discovery of Tutankhamun, according to him. So it's good stuff, nice stuff, good information at the same time. And of course, I'm going to encourage you, all you ones that have children, and even if you don't have any children, man, I'm encouraging you to get your family, even if you're the only one in the family, into the international homeschool program, and this is where you would see the value of it. And I would always stress that if you are serious about your children having some level of respect for their Afrocentricity, yes, again, I know that you are doing a good job, but at the same time, I'm telling you, to be a part of the homeschool program, I mean, there are many, many benefits, but you would always hear me harp on this specific benefit that I'm sure, because I mean, children would be children, that's just reality. But I'm sure they don't have to go through the whole program. Listen to me, I am sure, even if it's a quarter the way they reach, they will have a higher level of respect and appreciation for their Afrocentricity. And that is very important, or else people are going to be running all sort of, as we would say, Makujumi story over them. Continually. Holy Emmanuel eyes.